In Python, an expression is anything that can be calculated to return a value. So on line 4, we've got the expression a plus b. Python evaluates that expression and prints the value 15. On the next line, we've got a minus b, and that evaluates to the value 9. So working down the code, a multiplied by b is also an expression evaluating to 36. Now the next two are similar, a divided by b and a integer divided by b. Now they evaluate to 4, but the first one is a floating point value and the second is an int. And finally, on line 9, we've got the expression a and its remainder operator b. Well, I said finally there, but it's not actually the last expression in the code. There are two more expressions on lines 1 and 2, and it may not be obvious, but strictly speaking, 12 and 3 are also expressions. They evaluate to the values 12 and 3 respectively, but they're still technically expressions. That means you can use a literal value anywhere that Python expects an expression. Now there's also 4 more expressions at the end of the program, but I'd only expect you to identify 2 of them at the moment. So can you spot more expressions in the code after line 9? Pause the video if you need to and come back when you've found 2 more. Alright, so welcome back. Did you spot them? Well, firstly, on line 13, we've got the literal value 1 inside the parentheses, and it evaluates, not surprisingly, to the value 1, but again, it's still an expression. Now also, inside the parentheses, we've got a integer divided by b, and that's the 2 slashes. At the moment, that evaluates to 4 because a is currently 12 and b is 3. So these are the 2 expressions I expected you to find, but there are more. So still on line 13, the 2 expressions we've identified are part of another expression. So the code range, parentheses, and then it's 1 comma a, integer divided by b, that evaluates to a range of numbers from 1 to 3. So Python has to evaluate that in order to work out what values to use in the loop. So it evaluates the expression 1 to get the value 1, and then a, integer divided by b, to get the value 4. Once it's done that, it has to evaluate range, parentheses, 1 comma 4. So that's another expression. We haven't covered for loops and ranges yet, which is why I wouldn't have expected you to find that expression. But there's also another one on line 14. The variable I has to be evaluated so that Python knows what to print. The first time around the loop, it evaluates to the value 1, next time around it's 2, and the last time round, it evaluates to 3. But hang on a minute. If I on line 14 is an expression, what about a and b on line 4? Aren't they also an expression? Yes, they are. Python evaluates a to get the value 12 and b to get the value 3. It then adds them, evaluating the expression 12 plus 3. And the same thing happens on lines 5 through 9. So expressions can themselves be made up of expressions. In total, there are 26 expressions in this code. Now, we'll look at more complex expressions in the next video, but I'll finish this one by talking about a and b on lines 1 and 2. They're not expressions. You can't have an expression on the left of an assignment. The expression on the right of the equal sign is evaluated, and the variable on the left is bound to the result. So a common way of saying that is to say the value 12 is assigned to the variable a, but I want to get you used to the idea that we bind or attach variables to values. The result is the same whether we refer to a in the code. Python evaluates it as 12. Okay, so what about I on line 13? Well, that's also not an expression. I is being bound to each of the values produced by range in turn. So if I write this code long-handed instead of using a for loop, it should become more obvious. So I'll come down here and I'll start on line 16. So I'll put I equals 1. And on line 17, I'm going to do print parentheses I. Then I equals 2, print I equals 3, print I. Alright, I'll just move that up a bit. So that does exactly the same thing, although it takes 6 lines of code instead of 2, which I've got on lines 13 and 14. But when I run the program, we get the same 3 values printed out again. So if for I on lines 16, and I'll just scroll this up so we can see it. So lines 16, 18 and 20, so if I on those lines isn't an expression, then it should be clear that it's not an expression on line 13 either. Alright, so you'll see why we don't have I equals 4 later. I'll stop the video here now though, and we'll look at operator precedence in the next video.